NBA rules you didn't know exist. Big shout out to Rebound for the video. Let's get right into it, bro.
What if I told you this jersey number
69?
is banned from the NBA? Or that there's a 4-point line you've never seen before? These are 17 NBA rules
Bro, is that
you
an
didn't know
ankle monitor?
exist. And
Wait,
first,
the ref
there's
could
a
block
dunk
you?
that's so dangerous, it was banned by the NBA.
What?
And I believe Shintz has kept it alive again, did he? Yep, he did. Almost put it in, too. Here's Bowie.
Oh! Oh my gosh! He broke the. I've never seen that in my life.
Yeah,
No
this
way.
dude Shaq was dunking so hard, he was destroying entire hoops, putting
Bro,
everyone
what?
around him in danger. So in 1993,
Wow.
the NBA was forced to create the no shatter rule, which
What's that?
says if a dunk shatters the backboard, the point
Oh!
isn't counted, and the player gets a technical foul.
Wow.
Man, Shaq changed the NBA. But so did our next
Wait, so you have to kind of dunk it soft on purpose so you don't break the hoop?
rule. Because in the NBA, you could be forced to pay millions of dollars just for being thick. See, in
Hey,
2022,
yo, what?
Zion Williamson reached over 300 pounds and became
was
the fattest
300?
player in the NBA. So when he went to renegotiate his contract, the Pelicans agreed to pay Zion, but with just one little condition,
You gotta
a
lose
weight clause that stated Zion legally has to stay under 295 pounds.
what the
And if
freak,
he
bro?
doesn't, he'll have no choice but to fork over millions of dollars.
Bro, he's a
Damn.
good player.
I mean, they
bro.
got a rule
It don't
for
matter.
everything. Like, the NBA even made a rule for when an entire team dies. On January 17, 1960, the Minneapolis Lakers were flying back home
Minneapolis, you mean Los Angeles, brother, man?
from a game in St. Louis, when all of a sudden, the Lakers were in a free fall, giving the pilot only one option, a crash landing. Now, miraculously, everyone did end up surviving, but this near-death experience raised a serious question for the NBA. What would happen if an entire team died at once?
Wow,
Well, after this incident, the league drew up their craziest rule yet, the disaster draft,
What?
which basically states that if more than 5 players on a team die, the NBA would host an emergency draft, where the affected team would take players from other teams until they fill their roster.
Wow.
Yeah, they really got a rule for when players die.
Yo, that's
just crazy.
Yeah, that's wild, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You know what? I was gonna be a conspiracy theorist real quick. You know what I'm saying? Cause like the Lakers plane crash and stuff like that. But I ain't even gonna get into it, bro. Cause I don't want to be one of those. But I just thought of something crazy, bro. But whatever.
You know what else is crazy? The fact that in the NBA, there's a rule that bans farting.
What?
Yeah. In the late 2000s,
Why can't you
NBA
fart?
players were being terrorized by the dirtiest man in the league,
Who?
Dwight Howard.
He was
'Cause
farting
this
on
dude
people?
was farting like it was his job.
Ew, bro.
Oh, no.
Yo, ew, bro.
Dwight was farting so much,
Bruh.
it became his reputation. Players around the league were calling him the greatest farter in the NBA. Yes, they actually said that.
Bro,
but
what?
eventually, it started to piss off his teammates. So in 2009, the Orlando Magic made the no flatulence policy, which made it against the rules to fart during team activities.
Yeah, bro.
All because,
That's like.
quote, Dwight really likes to cut the cheese.
Bro, but there's different types of farts. There's the little you know, that little fart that just comes out and nobody can hear. Then there's you forcefully making your cheeks clap to make it loud. Like you're purposely doing that, bro. I feel like you should be allowed to have the farts, but not the farts. You know what I mean?
Damn.
You.
Come on, Dwight. You out here making them ban farts? That's ridiculous. But not as ridiculous as our next rule. Because in the NBA, yo mama jokes are strictly forbidden.
What?
See, this is Don Knobler, Maverick superfan and yo mama joke enthusiast. And in 2018, Don was sitting courtside watching the Mavs play the Clippers when he started talking trash to Patrick Beverly. And Pat was having none of it. So he fired back, saying, "F you." But that's when Don went for the kill,
What'd he say?
roasting Pat Bev
No.
with just 3 words.
No. Yo, mama so fat.
Yo, mama.
Oh, he said
and
that.
that is when all hell broke
Oh,
loose.
nah, bro.
Oh, wow, he just threw the ball
Wow,
at Don Knobler.
bro.
Patrick Beverly just threw the ball
Wow,
at Don Knobler.
bro.
which is not very nice.
Yo, it'd be so funny to see like NBA, NFL players like get mad and like fight with random people when they're making hundreds of millions. It's like, dude, okay.
Well, he's going to get a technical for something.
Yeah, and after a diss like
crazy.
that, the NBA had to do something. So not only did they ban Don from the arena for a year, but the very next season, they literally made Yo Mama jokes illegal, saying, "We've added a rule that makes comments about a player's mom. Something will pull a fan out of their seat for."
Wow.
Oh, really? Well, you can pull me out of my seat, but what you'll never pull me out of is Yo Mama. But anyways, we gotta talk about referees, because it's literally against the rules to laugh at a ref. Yeah.
What?
In 2007,
You
Tim
can't
Duncan
laugh
was
at
on
a
the
ref,
bench,
bro?
just minding his own business, when
Wow.
this happened.
There he misses the
Tim Duncan just got a foul for laughing at the ref, but it didn't
Oh.
stop there, because a few minutes later, one little giggle got him ejected.
Alberto, and a blocking foul as Joey Crawford saying Alberto moving.
What the hell?
Bro, you can't laugh, bro? What if I'm laughing with you? Or what if I'm, you know when sometimes when you in school or you just chilling and you just start laughing out loud or laughing a little bit because you thought of some funny joke or something funny that happened like the other day or years ago? What if you were just laughing at like a memory of one of him and his partners or something, bro?
That egghead went too far. What's next? You can't even look at a ref? Oh yeah, that's a rule too.
What?
Timeout LA. Whack! Get out! Get away from me, Steve. Get away from me, Steve. He didn't say a word. Technical foul, Wallace. He's gone. No, not right. I asked him 3 times to stop staring at me to try to intimidate me. I'm done. He's gone.
Yo, like, I don't know whether to laugh. Like, that is the most, like, ew. Like, come on, brother, man. Really? He's done. No, get away from me. Get away from me. He looked at me 3 times. I'm intimidated. How are you intimidated with 100 million? You're not going to get beat up by a freaking NBA player in the middle of the freaking broadcast where millions of people are watching, bro. What are you intimidated about?
Whack! Get out!
Get out.
Get away from me, Steve.
Get away from me,
Get away
Steve.
from me, Steve.
Get away.
He didn't say a word. Technical foul, Wallace. He's gone. No, not right. I asked him 3 times to stop staring at me to try to intimidate me. I'm done. He's gone.
I mean, he did ask him to stop 3 times.
Wow.
The guy kind of had it coming. And so did Dennis Rodman, because I bet you didn't know that. He forced the NBA to ban his jersey number.
Wait, how?
Back in 2000, Rodman signed with the Mavericks. During a meeting with team owner Mark Cuban, he really wanted to have 69 as his jersey number, and Mark
No
was down.
way.
So the very next day, he ordered 10,000 Rodman jerseys with 69 on them. But then the league found out. They weren't too pleased with Rodman's number, so they put it to a vote, and by the end, the NBA decided to ban number 69.
That's so funny, bro. But you gotta think about it. There's a lot of kids who watch the NBA, so you know that's a good thing. If you know what 69 is, bro, you know. If you don't, good, man. Stay in school.
Rodman with no choice but to wear number 70. Man, they really do got a rule for everything.
That's
And no one
crazy,
knows this better than Karan Butler, because this dude created the weirdest rule in NBA history.
What?
See, in the 2000s, Karan had a couple of screws loose, because this dude was obsessed with chewing straws.
Got a handful on me right now.
Yo, my little brother's dad used to be obsessed with chewing straws, like all the time. It was weird, and then I started doing it because I wanted to be like him because he was my stepdad. And like, yeah, it kind of messes up your teeth. Don't chew straws.
There's Burger King, McDonald's. Grab straws, grab a handful of straws, and
How do you know when one's done?
start getting a little stringy. Yeah, gotta spit it out. I do it at home. My daughter even does it sometimes.
See?
I don't do these. I don't do 7-Eleven straws, anything. McDonald's, Burger King.
Jesus, this guy was getting bricked up over some plastic. But for Karan, chewing straws was a way to calm his nerves. So he even started doing it during his games,
Oh, that's
averaging a
dangerous.
ridiculous 12 straws per game.
That's dangerous.
First
You
half, I
could
can
choke
go
on it,
do
bro.
at least 6.
You could, bro. You could
Yeah,
choke on that,
easy.
bro.
So 12 a game.
But eventually, the NBA got a little concerned because they thought all that chewing might make him choke.
Yeah.
So in 2010, they decided to save Karan from himself,
Real talk, bro.
creating the no straw rule.
They
which
literally called it that, bro. That's hilarious.
literally says players are banned from chewing straws during NBA games. Ridiculous.
That's crazy.
But look, man, sometimes players make their own rules, and if you don't follow them, you'll get your ass beat. See, in 2021, the Thunder were beating the Lakers by 5 points with just 4 seconds left.
It's over.
I mean,
that's game.
The game was already in the bag.
Yeah, it's over.
But when Darius Baisley got the ball, he did something dirty.
What'd he do?
And they throw it away. And
Wow.
here's the Capitol.
That
The
is so
ball on
messed
it
up.
was Baisley dunking it.
Wow.
Uh-oh, and Russ is telling him, Russ is in
Oh.
Baisley's face.
Bro, Russell,
Telling
why
him
you
not
mad?
to do that.
See, Darius broke an unwritten rule between players, which says if your team's basically won and it's just a matter of time, you gotta dribble the clock out and not score, cause it's disrespectful as hell. So Russ just had to put Darius.
Heck no. All right, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say no because look, there was one time where I bet, bro, I would have won $25,000, but I needed Shea Gilgeous-Alexander to make one more point, and he had the ball with like 4 seconds left, and he could have just shot it, but instead of shooting it, he dribbled the clock out, bro, and he lost me my money, bro. If he would have just shot a shot or made the layup or anything, and nobody was guarding him because the game was over, he could have just ran up and got another layup, and I would have got 25K, bro. Instead, I lost 500 because it was like a huge parlay. So no, score every point you can score. Go to it ain't over till the whistle get blown, bro.
In check. But hey, the NBA needed to put his players in check too. That's why there's a rule that bans them from using Twitter. See, in the late 2000s, when Twitter first launched, players were addicted immediately, and they started tweeting some crazy stuff. You had Shaq and
If others can smell you, you got to be able to smell yourself. Pfft, I farted. Can you smell that? LOL. Bro, what the fuck? Yo, Shaq is so random, bro. What the heck, bro?
announcing when he farts, KD threatening people.
Wait, what?
Easy stuff. You had Shaq announcing when he farts, KD
About to kill James Harden, Russell Westbrook, J. Cam, and Jeff Green? Oh my gosh, bro.
threatening people. Hell, some
In
players
the locker room, snuck to post my twit. We're playing the Celtics tie ball game at the half. Coach wants more toughness. I got to step up. Why are you putting that on Twitter? That's so random.
were even tweeting during their own games. So in 2009, the NBA put their foot down, creating the Twitter rule, which bans players from tweeting during work hours and allows the league to fine them thousands of dollars for offensive tweets. Man, these guys got to be careful with their tweets.
Russell Westbrook dresses like my 70-year-old uncle with a timeshare in Florida.
But what they really need to look out for is other players cheating. See, in 2016, it was Hawks versus Rockets. And late in the first quarter, Paul Millsap was at the free throw line when he got in a bit of a sticky situation.
What happened?
The Rockets had a 19-point lead early in the game, and Millsap's telling him to look at
What
the
the heck?
ball. Must be sticky.
Why did the
Yeah,
ball was sticky?
someone sprayed the ball with this weird sticky stuff
Bro.
called Stickum.
What?
And not only was this gross as hell, but it also broke an NBA rule that says altering a basketball in any way is strictly prohibited.
Who did that?
So players were left with one question. Who the hell covers their balls in glue? Well, after rolling back the tape, the perp was finally revealed. And it was none other than Dwight Howard.
What?
Paul Millsap threw the ball back to the refs because Dwight Howard, when he came to the sideline, he sprayed some stuff on his hand that
Why
made
did he
the ball
do
very
that?
sticky.
And when Twitter found out,
I've never been a cheater. Do I ever try to do what?
Dwight was
I just think that it's getting overblown, like I'm doing something crazy. But again, I've never been a cheater, never been the type player that has to do something illegal to win. It's upsetting, but I can't control it now. Dude, what do you mean you're not a cheater? You just tried to cheat, bro. What the fuck? Like, you're caught 4K red-handed, bro.
hooked because people thought he was cheating and they tried to cancel the man. So the very next day, Dwight was left with no choice but to defend himself.
I just think that it's getting over.
No, it's not.
I'm with something, crazy.
You are.
Again, I've never been a cheater. I've never been a type of player that has to do something illegal to win. It's upsetting, but I can't control it now. I've been using the spray for the last five years.
Oh my god. He used Stickum throughout his entire NBA career, bro? Dude, the NFL literally banned Stickum. That's like one of my biggest YouTube videos. You see, bro? Look, that's one of my 5 million views, bro. Stickum, bro. Like, that's banned. That's crazy that he actually used that, bro, and it's admitting to it.
Never hid the spray. I never did anything to try to hide what I was doing.
But hey, in the end, it was all good because instead of fining or suspending Dwight, the NBA just let him off with a warning. Yeah, and this dude Dwight can do anything he wants with his balls. Well,
Hey, yo.
anything except touch them. Because what if I told you that in the NBA, touching yourself is illegal?
Wait, what?
Yeah. See, in the 2004 playoffs, it was Kings versus Timberwolves. And with Minnesota up 1 with just 30 seconds left, Sam Cassell got the ball and went nuts.
One about Cassell.
What did he do?
3-point lead. That's a tough shot.
Oh, he's saying he got big nuts?
Yeah, this guy let them both hang
Nah,
out,
that's crazy,
marking the
bro.
beginning of a nut-grabbing epidemic. Because from that point on, players across the NBA joined hands and started grabbing their junk
gosh.
like it was their job.
Oh my
But in
gosh,
2010, the NBA had enough, so they created a rule that says players who grab their
Yeah, you
crotch
shouldn't be
can
allowed to
be
do that, bro.
fined
There's
up to
kids who watch.
$25,000.
$25K for
With
holding
a
your
punishment
balls?
like that, you'd think
Wow.
players would stop touching themselves. But no, these dudes stay grabbing their balls, left and
Yo.
right, and it's costing them a sack. Because since the
I
rule's
see
been
what you did there.
enforced, players have been fined over $200,000 for it. Man, the league needs to loosen up a little bit. It's like they hate having fun. Like, I bet you had no idea that they even banned trolling. Yeah. In 2022, Russell Westbrook played like trash. So, during a game against the Kings, he got trolled for it by the entire arena. Because every time he missed a shot, the DJ played this.
Get off early.
What made that possession so good for them offensively? Young man is
Yo.
hustling.
Westbrook with a deep 3-ball. Len with the
No
rebound.
way.
And that's what happens when Fox pushes tempo. Great things happen.
If you run with him,
Bro, you're as
And after
cold
doing
as
this
ice.
all game long, Kings topped it off by awarding Russ the ice cold
Nah,
player
that's mad
of the game,
disrespectful.
which is pretty funny, but not to the NBA. Because the very next day, they told the Kings that trolling players during a game is now officially against the rules. But look, trolling is the
Damn, you
last thing
pushed
players
him?
should worry about.
Why would
They
you
gotta
push
watch
him, bro?
rules. But look,
What the
trolling
freak,
is
bro?
the last thing players should worry about. They gotta watch out for Steph Curry instead, because this dude is changing the rules of basketball. See, over the years, Steph has shot the lights
Yeah,
out,
that boy's a
averaging
beast, bro.
45% from the three-point line. And eventually, teams started wondering, how the hell can we shoot like that? Well, to play like Steph, you gotta practice like Steph. Which is why in 2017, teams started adding 4-point lines to their practice facilities.
way.
Yeah, I'm talking the Hawks, the Bucks.
Oh, I've seen
hell,
those
Even
before.
the Sixers had Ben Simmons pulling up from half court.
Come on. Not losing his money. No, sir.
Damn, I can't believe my man hit that. But what I really can't believe is our next rule. The fact that women can play in the NBA.
No way,
Yeah, and
for
not
real?
only that, but there's even a woman that's made it to the league. See, this is Lucia Harris, and she was a beast in college. Because
But what about the WNBA?
she averaged 26 points and 14 rebounds a game. But after graduating in 1977, there really wasn't an opportunity for Lucia. It's not like the WNBA was around. So she decided to take her degree, get a normal job, and start a family. But a few months later, everything changed when Lucia got a phone call from the New Orleans Jazz saying they selected her in the 1977 NBA draft. And they were ready
That's
to
so
fly her
cool,
out to
man.
their
That's really
training
cool, bro.
camp. Until Lucia told him she was pregnant. So unfortunately, she had to say no to the NBA. But her story doesn't end there, because even though she never played in the NBA, in 1992, the league decided to induct her into the Hall of Fame. But hey man, you never know. One
She's the
day,
only girl
we'll
in
see
the
another
NBA
woman
Hall of
make
Fame?
it to the league and actually get to play. And look, we've talked about a lot of rules in the NBA, but there's no way you knew about the original rules. See, way back in the 1890s, when basketball
Oh,
was
nah,
first
that looked
invented,
bad,
they
bro.
had all kinds of
That
weird
looks
rules.
bad.
Like, instead of playing with a basketball, they played with a soccer
What?
ball. And for the hoop, they didn't use a regular net like they do now. It's called basketball because they literally
They used
used
the
a fruit
actual
basket.
basket, bro.
And they had to get a ladder to grab the ball every time they scored. But there's one more rule that's just wrong. Because not only was it illegal to run with the ball, but you couldn't even dribble the ball
Wait,
either.
huh?
Yeah, dribbling was against the rules. And as a result, these original rules made basketball suck. So over the next century, they rewrote the entire rule book, turning basketball into the sport we all
Wait,
know
so
and
all you
love
could do
today.
is pass
Man,
it?
thank God
and
they
shoot?
changed
You
the
can only pass and
rules,
shoot?
because I don't think fans would put up with that. I mean, they barely tolerate the game now. Like, we've seen fans throw stuff at players, flip guys
my
off. Hell,
gosh.
I've seen fans start
Yo.
rioting over a missed layup. Look, if all that sounds interesting, they need to click this video right here.
Bad, man. Welcome home, KG, Kevin Garnett. That's funny, bro. I got you, bro. Hey, big shout out to Rebound. You know I love you, bro. Hey, man, guess what? We hit 2 today, bro. We hit that big 50K! 50K! Hey! Let's freaking go, bro. Big 50K. Stop playing with us, bro. We freaking did it, bro. Hey, we're doing really, really good on this channel, bro. Let's keep it up. Now we're on the road to 100K, bro. You know what I'm saying? 50K subs. Hey, and we going crazy. Messing with me, I might have to hit you like finesse. All of my diamond day busting, don't give up. Yeah, bro. I know, real talk, man. Love y'all so much. Thank you so much for supporting, bro. Make sure you guys keep watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure you put God first. Your boy Eli Mack. Gang, gang.